Hi, I'm John with IRD Racing, and today we're actually changing up a little bit here on our IRD Racing channel. So we're going to be bringing you some more informative video content and hopefully answering your questions and giving you a good guideline of how to pair things up for your hot rod, airboats, boats, trophy trucks, drag cars, all out, street strip cars as well. So we're going to go ahead and go dig deep a little bit with the MSD 6AL Ultra Plus, explain some of the features that it has and how it can benefit you, paired up with the high vibration MSD Blaster 2 coil. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start with the box, and we're going to go ahead and unpack that, and we're going to show you a couple things with it. So this is the MSD Ultra 6AL Plus box. This right here is a really good tuning tool for something that you're going to be using for your car, truck, airboat, however you want to do it. And you're wanting to step the ignition up from something that was made from the 1980s where it literally was analog ignition. Now you have something that's a little bit better and you have more tunability with it. So let's go ahead and we'll open up the package. I'll tell you what the contents is and how it's going to benefit your ride for entry-level blow-throughs, draw-through setup, blower applications, or even turbo builds. So this is the part number 65233, and this is the 6AL Ultra Plus. And what you're going to see here is comes pretty well packed, has nice foam around there so that way it doesn't get punted around by UPS or whoever. Here's the ignition box, very small but durable, and you have obviously your connecting cables, you have vibration mounts, wiring connector ends, and then obviously here we have the actual harness itself that will plug into the MSD 6AL Ultra Plus. They use a really good grade wire here. I don't see any reason to change or try to update wires or anything like that, despite some of the forums that you might go down and people talking about general wiring and how you can change to different wiring grades. MSD put a lot of thought into this when they make these, so I would stick with what's in the package, and it's pretty reputable. Today, obviously, we're going to give our honest opinion on what we think about this box and kind of break it down for you as you, the consumer. So this box here, it's really small. It's got good potting on the inside. Instead of like the BTM box that they had back in the day, MSD actually stepped up and put a pneumatic end on its stainless steel push lock fitting for the map sensor, which is a really good upgrade to the box. And having it so small but yet so robust, is going to allow it for more tuning options. And what's great about this is that it has a Bluetooth feature. So the Bluetooth feature comes from you guys with iPhones or Androids going to your App Store, Google Play, or App Store, and downloading the MSD 6AL View Series app. And what that's going to do is it allow you to adjust timing tables and set things up where older boxes like the BTM didn't do that. The older box being the BTM for boost module, which is kind of something that we're trying to do here, is basically something where if it saw 1 pound of boost, it pulled 1 degree of timing. Or if it saw 1 pound of boost, you had the dial on 2, it'd pull 2 degrees of timing. Or if it was on 3, it pulled 3 degrees per pound of boost. So you can see where that could be a real big problem for drivability and power and performance, because if you're talking a small inch engine with a very low compression rate, you want to have the timing in the engine to help accelerate that curve so when it does get into boost, it can carry. So that's something that this box will actually bring to you. So for you old school guys that don't like laptops, that don't like the new iPhones, the Bluetooth technology and stuff like that, this has a couple of knobs on the front of it, and it gives you some limited options on the front, but all the best features are going to be on the inside. This will pair up to a 4, 6, or 8 cylinder engine. This will also have a top end rev limiter for max RPM that you guys don't want to cross that threshold with your combinations. And this can also have like a start retard, pulling some timing out. And when you do use the Bluetooth, you will actually see the little icon down here at the far right corner of your screen. It's going to be the little Bluetooth deal, and this will actually power on and let you know that you're connected to this box. Final thoughts on this box for the features that it brings with obviously map tuning, engine over time and RPM and boost. I think it's a really good bang for the buck. I mean, for $468, You get a box that you can fully program, and if you have a smartphone, you can do it on the fly. Hell, I've used them in dyno sessions with guys with entry-level blow-throughs, which is what this is more or less generated towards, that, go on the dyno. They need a little bit extra, timing retard capabilities, how they want to map things out. And this is a really good setup for them, that you're talking anywhere from, I would say, a guy that's running 11 seconds down to maybe 880s, that's trying to do it, that's making anywhere from 600 to 1,000 horsepower. Once you start talking 1,000 horsepower, you start talking about a different coil that will allow you to go ahead and burn all that fuel in the combustion chamber, and we'll get to that here shortly. But all in all, I think that this is a really good product. Again, the bang for the buck at $468 with free shipping on Jegs and Summit, and also IRD Racing. We offer these and we match those prices. So if you have a question or something along those lines for this product, we can also help you answer it and go from there. Again, so now let's go ahead and we'll put this back in the box, and we'll go ahead and start talking about the coil here shortly. And that'll kind of give us a nice rundown of what we need to do to show you guys what you need for your project. Just to kind of further add to this current setup that you see here that we're actually doing this video on is actually going to go into an airboat application. And the reason why that we chose this as our application for the airboat is, again, tuning on the fly with your mobile app, being able to change timing features and things like that, robust potting on the inside to allow for vibration, which is where this coil is going to come into play with this ignition system. And it'll allow it to shine on this small block application that we're going to put it on with the blow through and the blower combination that we're going to run with it. Something to also think about when we're talking about ignition systems is pairing the right coil up with the box. This is a 6AL series ignition box. Any 6 series ignition boxes can use 6 series style of coils. If you try to put a 7 series that's like HVC2, that is the one meant for the grid or the digital 7, 7531 or 7535 boxes, that coil will not work with this because the drivers that are in this box are designated to run with 6 series style of ignitions to keep the firing going, and having the box paired up with the coil so everything works in unison. Once you start going HVC3 or something along those lines, you're talking Grid 7 software, and you're also talking MSD 600 with CDI ignition, but we will cover that on a later video. We chose the high vibration coil for this because of the airboat being solid mounted, the engine solid mounted to the actual hull. Again, for you guys that are putting this in a project car, solid body mounts, solid front plate, mid plate setups with solid training mounts or solid mounts all the way around from your motor training mounts, body mounts, everything in there where you have a lot of vibration. Or let's say you got a 4x4 truck, you're going out to the mud hole and you got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of vibration, a lot of things going on. That's where this coil kind of shines over the traditional MSD blaster. So what we're going to go ahead and do is get into this. This part number here is 8222. Again, this is the high vibration MSD Blaster 2 coil. It has no difference in performance over your MSD Blaster 2 coils that you currently have, other than the portions on the inside of this coil will be more robust than the standard MSD 6AL blaster. You can see this is the high vibration setup. And what's good about this is that if you're running a 6AL Blaster 2 coil and you're in a tight spot and you want to upgrade to this ignition coil for just, all intents and purposes of having the safety for vibration in your vehicle, this is actually the same height, size, and diameter of your Blaster 2 coil. And that way it'll be nice and easy to go ahead and replace it and put it in the original spot that you have it in on your vehicle. So again, just to recap things here, the reason why we like to see some of these MSD ignition systems like this in an entry-level blow-through is because it gives you more timing advancements, better drivability, better startup. It features, this particular box has features of multi-stage retard, and you'll be able to pull up to 35 total degrees of timing. which we don't think that anybody's going to need to pull 35 total degrees of timing. And if you have something that's going to be needing to pull that kind of timing, my personal preference is I would like to see you guys on Coil on plug. But yeah, this is pretty much the end of the video. We wanted to go ahead and share a little bit of information with you guys and help you along with your project cars, boats, whatever it may be, anything that's got an engine on it. We want to help you be on top of your game and be a part of your program. If you guys like the content that you see, click the link below, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check us out. We'll be here for future videos, and we look forward to seeing you at the drag strip.